we need each other to keep the human race going, brother. We can't work this out. Y'all not tired of fighting, bro. Y'all ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, be like how they was in the 90s, niggas roll bouncing, you know what I'm saying, talking to the biddies, not being weird. Now every time it's just some beef, you know what I'm saying, boys versus. What it do, man? It's your boy Petro, and I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what time it is, bro. Slacking slightly, but we here. You know what I'm saying? I'm back, right? You know what I'm saying? Why you late? You know what I'm saying? I was getting hot, you know. But yeah, we back with another one. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. This past few days been crazy between, you know what I'm saying, all the stuff with DDG. We gonna get to that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna tap in with that. We gonna see what people talking about. I've been holding off. I ain't even been watching no videos, none of that. I done seen some shit on. I done seen some stuff on Twitter, but you know I ain't really paying too much attention. But today, you know what I'm saying, in this video, we got the stuff going on with Torey and Meagan Stallion. Crazy turn of events. I guess, I don't know. I ain't even seen the video, so you know what I'm saying. Don't cook me, but we'll get straight into it, brother. Title of the video today is "This News is Devastating." I ain't gonna lie, the thumbnail was Tory Lanez, so I already knew what time it was. But you know, without further ado, 0 to 100. Let's see what's cracking.
Boom, 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 whatever sound. Boom. 50 million sounds he made before premiering one of the Yeezus songs, if I remember correctly, back in 2013. But this came out through Unite the People, and I've been hearing murmurs about this for quite a while. So before everybody, people just jump to social media just to get their opinion and their emotions off, not their opinions off. They feel an emotion, and they need to get that off on social media, and then they do that via an opinion, but it's not really an informed opinion or a thought-out opinion. It's an emotionalized opinion. But this is
bro. But hey, everybody guilty of that though, like rage baiting, you know what I'm saying? Rage baiting or just putting any type of emotion to get like a response. I know y'all be on, cause people be in the comments. People that do, you know what I'm saying, that's tapped in with me. I see those comments, bro, and I be reading it. Sometimes I don't be knowing what to say, you know what I'm saying? I gotta really sit and ponder on what was spoken. But yeah, people want to get their 1-2 off, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that's what any of the supporters over here did, but yeah, some people, especially Twitter, terrible place for the mental. What's going on, man? He playing
for quite a while. So people were like, oh, he just got stabbed and now all this information comes out. No, they've been preparing this for months. I've been hearing about this for months, maybe since towards the end of last year. But they had a press conference, and I'm going to play you guys the initial clip.
Wait, so hold up, before dude start, I don't know what's going on. Clearly, you know what I'm saying? If I watch the video, I'll find that out. But what dude been hearing about how he's gonna get hit with the candy bar in jail or what?
Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a state.
Pause. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into it, I'm cutting it short, but I want to clarify. I thought that Tory Lanez went to jail not because he shot Meg Thee Stallion, but because he was a felon around a firearm and they cooked him or whatever. I don't know. But no, let me stop talking, bro. Let me just listen, bro.
Statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case.
Oh, bro. Hey, hold up, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I keep stopping. I don't know if y'all see, bro. My black eye, bro. Be in the gym. I don't know if that's from the other day or whatever, bro. I'm walking around looking crazy. I don't be getting cooked though. Don't get the wrong idea, brother. I be working. We be working. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when you swimming, you get wet.
New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Meagan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded.
I don't know if you know, hey, bro, so I ran Trey at TSU in college for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? He looked like Coach Duncan, the young version of Coach Duncan, like him up. Look at that.
Last week was Meagan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell.
So during this press conference, there was a journalist that was working for the New York Times, and he's trying to put together a story op-ed, which would be huge. And he's reaching out to different people. Of course, Megan Thee Stallion's team reaches out because they're always playing the press game, and they're concerned. A bunch of other people don't reply. And the reason that the journalist is even doing this himself, and he said it, is because, like, hey, a lot of things don't add up in this case. Like, why wasn't this DNA taken? And I'm going to play you guys the clip of what the journalist says, too, because this is what a lot of us were saying
I want to know
4 years ago. And
what I want to know is, damn. Hold up. Damn. So all I want to know is, like, so if they come to find out that, all right, she was lying, you know what I'm saying, this mother, is she going to end up going to jail? That'd be wild. I mean, I guess that would be, maybe I'm ill-informed. But if he went to jail for shooting her, I guess that would be perjury or something. I don't know, maybe not. But if he went to jail for just having a gun and being a felon, he cooked. Like, it ain't really too much she could do or say. Like, in this scenario, this ain't got nothing to do with you and her. It's about you and the federal government.
Or 5 years ago, and we were all called not just crazy, we were called hateful and a million other things.
I am also a member of the press for almost a decade now. I've been looking into Daystar Peterson's case for almost 6 months now, professionally known as Tory Lanez. And after reviewing the evidence, the reporting...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna get cooked for saying this, bro. But if all of this turned out to be fake and this girl lied about this, that is so crazy, bro. The young men, we've been catching so much flack for the past, 3 years, 4 years behind this, bro. This was the catalyst for the gender wars, bro. Every time you hop on Twitter, damn, niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit. Niggas complaining, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? If we need each other to keep the human race going, brother, we can't work this out. Y'all not tired of fighting, bro. Y'all ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, be like how they was in the 90s. Niggas roll bouncing, you know what I'm saying, talking to the biddies, not being weird. Now every time it's just some beef, you know what I'm saying, boys versus girls, like. And then all the low IQ people fall into that shit. But I ain't gonna lie. Can you catch me in it sometimes? Yeah, but not really. I'm not gonna be out here commenting on this and the third, but I definitely see it, and it's getting old. No cap, it's getting real old, bro. But we need an apology. Nah, I'm playing. Nah, we need an apology. Cause what the fuck? It's crazy. We come back and say, hey, the case was weird. It was kind of shaky. Nah, niggas, we getting cooked. We like terrible people. Now we just got that woman hater badge on our jacket. Not a badge, but you know what I'm saying? They try to put that jacket on you, and it's like, bro, it's hard to get that shit off. Once you got that, that's a bad look, brother. Especially in public. It's a bad look, bro. This one is crazy. Don't kill me. Or don't delete me.
In the legal analysis, I've come to the conclusion that Tory Lanez was railroaded by the former district attorney, George Gascon. He was also wrongly convicted. I believe if Jesus Christ was Tory...
but then again, bro, if... I can't just be jumping on this just cause. So if everybody bite on this and he really did, you know what I'm saying, do this, they could, you know what I'm saying, y'all was just reaching. So I ain't gonna lie, I tend to try. I'm finna try. I stay neutral. I really wasn't really a fan, no way, of either one of them. I really don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. But there's some shit to watch. But I'm neutral right now, bro. Like, I ain't.
Lanez's attorney, George Gascon, would do whatever in his power to ensure that Tory Lanez lost that case. Tory Lanez's defense team have alleged the withholding of exculpatory evidence, prosecutorial misconduct, among other issues, that I was compelled to write an opinion piece for the New York Post. It is true that last week, the New York Post editors reached out to 3 parties, one being George Gascon, Meagan Pete's team, and Kelsey Harris. It is also true that Meagan's team was the only ones that responded back for that request for comment. I had some glaring questions, and that was the reason for this op-ed.
Even if you know what I'm saying, I guess it's too late now, bro. They done poke dude up in jail, hit him in the head with the candy bar, bro. If they was really trying to get him gone, bro, bro might not make it. And not trying to speak that to existence. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, dude could stick it out. Hey, bro, if this happens to be true, and this man just got took out like this that's just crazy. It's wild. Okay.
Things didn't make any sense to me. Many issues in this case, and I was shocked by the lack of interest from the media to ask very simple questions. There were multiple people with gunshot residue on their hands that night. Why didn't all individuals have the residue tested, their DNA tested on the weapon? That's a legitimate question. According to the prosecution, Torey was excluded from the clip of the gun, and according to Torey's defense team, they said DNA analysis showed that there was a 0.01% chance that Torey touched the actual gun itself. Another piece that stood out to me, the call that the prosecution alleged Torey made confessing to a crime. I listened to that call. I'm sure many of you have as well. I didn't hear a confession. But what really shocked me about it is if my best friend was shot maliciously by someone just 2 to 3 hours before, I wouldn't have answered the call, or if I did, I wouldn't calmly have a conversation with the individual of it. And certainly, I would ask, why did you shoot my friend? And more importantly, I would never have given you my current location out of fear of you finishing the job. That was something that stood out to me.
Excuse me, it was the New York Post. I said New York Times initially. But these are all questions that we had, and we brought forward, and the media wasn't asking them, and that was the bizarre part. But a lot of people are still saying, well, you know, like, he lost in court, he shot her, whatever. However, Kelsey's bodyguard, not while she was working with Meagan Thee Stallion, Kelsey's
bodyguard been speaking, but you know, everybody looks so shaky, and it's just hard to believe what anybody's saying because everything just look weird, you know, like ain't no clear cut in any of this.
bodyguard, who is Meagan Thee Stallion's best friend, who Torey was messing with both of them at the same time. Kelsey liked Torey initially, so just some background info for some people that may not know. Kelsey was really into Torey in the beginning, and I think they were doing something to...
They could have possibly sent the hit on Tory Lanez, bro, but I ain't gonna lie. Are these all just conspiracy theories right now? Because we just seen bro character. Bro be trying to get active. You know what I'm saying? He be trying to get active. And he in a Cali prison. You know what I'm saying? They be getting active, for sure. So, I don't know. It could be something else. Everybody else denying that. They trying to say it's Right Nation, allegedly. But, all this is this still hearsay? You know, until it's another trial or some shit with what's not any of this shit.
Together, and then Meagan Thee Stallion gets with Torey, knowing that Kelsey was into him, and that was supposedly her best friend. So during the trial, Kelsey's bodyguard is hearing things, and he's hearing her talk about the situation. And then that's where he comes forward recently and says the following.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation.
His team doing their job. They're trying to get him out of jail.
She had the gun. She fired it 3 times. Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm, gunshots came from the passenger side.
I heard that, bro. I heard this, bro. But when you say that, bro, people gonna be like, hell no, that. I'm telling you, I've heard this around. Who knows? We still don't know, but this is crazy. This is wild. If they doing, if he was not innocent, let's say, and This is his team. His team doing a hell of a good job to getting this nigga out. Like, you know what I'm saying? What they be saying? They up here rapping like the rent do. Oh God.
Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver...
If that was the case, if that was evidence and they just didn't give it to their people, bro, Cook, that man might be out tomorrow if he not deleted, you know what I'm saying?
Of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA
soon.
taken.
Like I said, tomorrow, soon.
Or was it taken
Tomorrow,
and again,
once I find it,
simply not given to the defense?
And the reason why this is a bombshell is twofold.
Yeah,
well,
we're
number
not
one,
hearing
it's
no.
not a bombshell because this really isn't going to have much effect on Torey's status. And very, very, very quickly, you can tell that the Rock Nation team is trying to move on things because Alex Spiro, who they're calling out, as well as Meagan the Stallion and people on their team, they called him out, and he was the guy that put Tory Lanez in jail. And he said the following: Tory Lanez was tried and convicted by a jury of his peers, and his case was properly adjudicated through the court system. This is not a political matter. This is a case of a violent assault that was resolved in a court of law. So he's trying to get in front of it as quickly as possible, and this is making waves through the court system. And the reason why this is a bombshell is because for those of us in hip-hop, and one thing that really, really, I would say irritates me is when people try to move goalposts or change the whole topic of discussion. So on social media, a bunch of people, not only were they celebrating Tory Lanez being stabbed 14 times, nearly dying, it was a hit that was put out on him.
Yeah, I seen he rocking with Tory Lanez heavy though. I'm pretty sure, bro. I done seen other videos of him rocking with Tory heavy. So I ain't gonna lie. If this is a case, bro, I ain't gonna lie. This is one of Tory, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Forerunners for him to get out.
But they're out there saying, well, you know, he didn't actually go to prison for shooting Meagan Thee Stallion. It's because he had a gun. Okay.
I thought
how many other rappers have had a gun? And
he got 25 years though. That's crazy.
Sure, we're not talking about the legal reasons why Tory Lanez went to jail. And I think it was aggravated assault with a firearm or something like that. And this is the thing. We don't even know if that's Tory Lanez's gun. Because remember they said it was a tiny gun that was in a purse? So we don't even know if that's Tory's gun. Now, from my perspective, this will do nothing for the case. Because this is just some guy, what he heard Kelsey say. And I think this is new information brought to public light, but this is what most of us knew happened. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, bro. He cooked. At the end of the day, if the legal system say it's over with, it's over with.
There are 3 groups of people. There were Meagan Thee Stallion stans that were dumb, moronic idiots that actually believed the testimony that she gave in terms, like, before the actual case, before she got up on the stand. Then there are people in the middle that are like, okay, Torey definitely didn't shoot her. There was like some struggle type of situation and the gun went off. And then there are Torey stans that believe the same thing because they're just Torey stans. Yeah. It just so happens to be that like
I gotta see all the evidence
on this particular situation. But if you guys recall, what Meagan Thee Stallion was saying is that
none of what you hear and half of what you
number
see.
One, she said that explicitly, and this was after the event. So it was a day or two later that she said that. And she also went along and said that he looked over the passenger side seat, over the window, said, "Dance, B." And
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I thought that was crazy, bro. But you know, we dealing with Hollywood niggas. All of these, you know what I'm saying? All the Hollywood cats they on weird timing, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. They be on weird timing. But to make them get out the car, whatever situation, y'all out the car, grab the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, grab the yop stick and go, dance, bitch. shooting at the floor like this a Looney Tunes cartoon or some. What? That sounds crazy. What? Who does that, bro? Are you a wankster? This is some extremely wankster activity, bro. If you try doing this to some female, I don't know what's going on. It's just corny, but that sounds crazy. Why would someone do that? I don't know. But if he did that, that's I can't say I wasn't there, you know. But that whole all of that right there is weird.
Fired off
It's
shots
weird.
like it was a Looney Tunes episode. Dude, are we not remembering
what up?
this?
Come on,
because
man.
This was one of the craziest things I ever heard. I was appalled that Megan Thee Stallion said this. I couldn't even believe it. And then she went on Gayle King and said, "Oh, you know, I never had a relationship with that man of a sexual nature." And then come to find out, she says, "Oh no, actually I did." When she gets on the stand, so Megan Thee Stallion, Megan Pete, is a consistent liar, and everyone believed you shot Megan. Torey, you shot Megan. So Torey's perception, and the reason why he lost a ton of deals, why during the time that he was awaiting trial was such a difficult time for him, even though he was free, is because everybody believed he shot Megan. It's not why he's in jail. If you want to say that's not why he's in jail, it doesn't matter.
25 or some shit.
Now the unfortunate part about this is that this isn't really going to help him. Like this is just, it's going to help his PR. Like you had Chris Brown come out, say free Tory. You had all these people that already
Trump
support
might
him
let him out though. He let Kodak out.
You had Drake like a post on Academics where the press conference was going on, and they were talking about Megan Thee Stallion
he might be cooked though,
getting being the one that, like, not lied, but this situation not happening the way that she claims that it did. It's lying. Like this lie, and this will actually very much impact Megan Thee Stallion within hip hop in particular. Nobody's gonna work with her because Tory's stock is going up, but it's just not really gonna free him because this isn't admissible evidence. It's hearsay. On top of that, what are they gonna do? Try to get the governor? They're trying to get the governor to pardon him. So they're trying to make this information and make as big of a splash as possible for Torey to potentially get, I guess, like pardon, get him out of retrial and mistrial. I think he still has like 2 appeals where he could potentially get out on. But other than that, there isn't much that can be done. So this is more so a play on Tory Lanez's PR and his public perception, which is important for the music, than it is for anything else. And I think they have to do that because it's twofold. It's good for business because the more attention stays on Tory Lanez, the more we care about his music, the more he can support his family. The guy's independent. He's only making income from music. It's not like he's got brand deals or anything like that working for him while he's on the inside. And he didn't even have brand deals when he was outside because he was getting screwed over by the PR of people believing that he actually shot this woman. And
none
of this is new to me. I just thought Tory Lanez. I thought Tory Lanez was too cocky. That's what I thought, and that he was cocky and put himself in a position where something could go.
I'm sorry, gotta cook his ass, boy.
Wrong. That's it. And
if you lose it, grow a beard,
no way in hell.
Get some tattoos.
And I couldn't even fathom that he would like shoot this woman.
And if you're real,
but
you know,
things are not going to change. People are so entrenched into their beliefs at this point. Like if, let's say somebody believed that Tory Lanez actually shot her and said dance B 4 years ago, that individual is not going to. They're not going to consciously change their mind. Now they may get this new evidence and they'll just say, well, they're just going to change the goalposts. Like I said earlier, they're just going to say, oh, you know, well, he just he's in jail because he should be in jail because he was holding a gun and he's a Canadian in America and he wasn't obeying the country's laws. Which is like, hold on, that's not what you were saying 4 years ago. So it's a sad situation.
Yeah, y'all gotta stand on that shit, man. That's crazy.
Like, the guy's recovering well.
None of this will be proved because he's not getting out, apparently, or whatever, bro. But you never know. If he get pardoned and they let him go, ooh,
it's great.
It's gonna
His
be bad
father
news.
is an incredible speaker. He did a speech during that press conference. That guy's outstanding at speaking. And we will see where this develops. I don't know if the governor may pardon him if this keeps going up. We're going to see a lot of attention around it, but we're not really going to see Megan Thee Stallion do any press. This puts a hamper on Megan Thee Stallion's career too, because Megan Thee Stallion she hasn't had a song catch in a really long time. We don't know what album she's had. Any interview that she does, this will be asked. And if it's not asked, that interview will be panned. It'll probably be like a Zane Lowe interview. No disrespect to Zane Lowe, but it'll be some industry interview where they're not going to ask her the most pressing question. And all of the fans, just hip-hop fans in general, are going to look at the interviewer like crazy. Like, yo, you didn't answer the most important question out there when it regards this liar.
But they paid for him not to ask that question.
That has
Or
and
her,
this is
whoever.
also the thing with Kelsey, why this isn't a surprise to us, is why would Kelsey be granted immunity if she never did anything? Yeah, we believe that Kelsey got immunity because she's the one that let off the gun. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. This is good news for Torey. How do y'all feel about this? Have any of you guys changed your mind? I think that's the most important thing that I want to learn. Like, if you were on Meagan's side and believed her whole testimony in 2020, did you change your mind now? Or did you change your mind 2 years ago? And what was it that made you change your mind? And was it difficult to change your mind? Let me know in the comments.
Man, well, that's the end of the video, man. How y'all feel, bro? Y'all feel like Torey innocent? You feel like, yeah, Torey did that? I ain't gonna lie. Like I say, I'm neutral until that shit come out court documents. I ain't picking no sides because you don't know. But if he innocent, free that man, man. Say let that man out, because this is crazy. But you know what I'm saying, man. Y'all don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? I got some more. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all later.